what they are planning in these bans and picks. And again, it's looking a little bit tried and tested, a little bit of a flashback from Season 1. Oh, Dolia and the Chow being banned first time. Who would have thought? But over to the side of R8, we see a little bit more of a mid-lane orientated ban phase. Is the Haino and the Lady Chen. They do not want to go against the Frosty Lady, but they will have to go against the Princess of the Frost, which is going to go over to the side of AG Global this time, and they maintain the Mayene on Snow. It was a great pick, and it's as if we know what we're talking about, Zero. Byron comes through in Game 2 for R8.
Yeah, that's great for R8. They know that, you know, we don't have to really put focus. We don't have to help Byron win the lane because he's gonna do that on his own. And Mai can really just focus on rotating towards the farm lane, shutting down the D&J on the All Gamers Global side, and allow the R-Lead to snowball. That should be their game plan in this game. After seeing the Byron, but we might see the Mai rotating up to the Clash lane just to make sure that the Byron really gets off on a hot start.
Yeah, we saw an interesting ban there on the Ming. I mean, I haven't really seen AG Global, pick up the Ming before. Maybe it's something they've played against in the scrims that they don't want to sort of face on the live stage, especially when you have hyper carries in at the farm lane as well. But you do see that AG do take off that Jong phase, so it may force R8 to go for another tanky jungle pick this time around. They take the pay off the board as well. Again, we know that Shihab likes the pay pick. It's definitely a Mena favorite in terms of the jungle when there's nothing else left. But another hero that has not been banned for the entire of this day one so far is Lamb. So we could see a Lamb come through here.
I'm surprised at how little focus was put on the Lamb. Like, I'm same with the Byron, I guess, is that, you know, these heroes that can really enable your snowball, I expected them to be a bit more prioritized, but it could be just different sort of playstyles that they were adopting from their regions. And we might see a little bit more of them coming on as we head on later in the group stages.
Hey, I mean, we're getting some love arts there from Ryoshi, but it doesn't quite yet top the magnetic dance of Open Series from the side of the Vicious, which is still probably in my top 10 players taunting on stage. It will never be forgotten. MZK will be forever in my heart. But okay, 2 series, 2 monkey picks coming through, and we get the Liam Poe as well. So we're not only getting blessed by the Liam Poe, which we all know, Blam loves Mr. Liam Poe, and it's going to be down in the support role, and then we're also getting Menki as well. So again, some great picks coming through from R8 here. Let's see how they execute them. See if they can execute them better than LGD.
Oh, what is that on the All Gamers Global side? Is that an Athena as their jungle?
They've played this before.
Oh boy.
All I'm saying, Zero, is this is not R8 Esports' Athena from Season 1. You remember that feed. You remember that.
Please no. What was that, 20 deaths towards the end or something like that?
Literally, it was just the hardest thing to watch. Hopefully they don't bring it to the Season 2 Invitational stage. But however, the All Gamers Global did play the Athena very well in the Open Series, so I'm very excited to see Myosotis return on the Athena pick this time around. Because as we saw, and as we know, when Athena gets killed, she doesn't die, she literally just stays around, is able to give intelligence to your team, is able to just when she comes back with a slam. So if you can get that onto the likes of, say, the Mai, trying to shut down the Mai or the Ali, it's going to go for a great engage. Even if she dies into the team fight first, she's still going to stick around and still hopefully stay in that team fight long enough to pick off one of these squishier heroes.
Yeah, let's see how this Athena goes. I'm excited to see how All Gamers Global is able to utilize that. But R8 definitely has a draft that I'm more happy with. You know, having multiple tanks, having the Lian Po as the support to help them out, help out the Menki, who doesn't necessarily want to play as a tank. So much better draft, I think, from the side of R8. Let's see how they fare in game number 2.
But yeah, like I said, you're much happy with R8's draft. I'm much happy with R8's draft. Just the fact with Liempo being there alone makes me happy. We love a whole team knockup from Liempo. It's definitely something that warms my little toes in this this British harshness cold that's going on right now. But again, the Athena pick this early on into Season 2 makes me think that AG Global definitely got other things cooked up, because this didn't actually like surface towards the end of the Open Series Split 1. So again, this was something that they played, just like the Guan Yu as well, was a little bit something they always kept on the back burner, something to surprise those final enemies.
And this is interesting strategy here from R8. They send the marksman towards the mid, and Xenon playing towards the bottom against the D-Ren on the early stages of the game, just because it's easier to clear off the waves as Ryoichi on the early, and Xenon can just really focus on the 1v1 against the D-Ren. So it doesn't seem like it's really making any big of an effort, but it's interesting to see so far.
Yeah, I think it's mainly just to get that early bit of lead of gold there for the Arlie. But here we are, Byron. For those that don't know and haven't played Byron in the Clash lane yet, if you are a Clash lane main, here is one to do it, because he can win your lane pretty much 90% of the time. So Byron's basic combo is his second, the basic attack first, and then ult. Enhanced skills deal more damage, so build up some energy before a team fight, because you'll get that shield that will just literally keep you sustained in those team fights. When you think you're going to die, pop that ult and say goodbye to your enemy.
Yeah, for those who don't know what the energy is, it's that red bar below his health points, and whenever you have enough energy, every one of your auto attacks also give you lifesteal. So that's why he's so sustainable, and that's why he's such a strong lane bully, is that he can constantly just keep trading hits, knowing that he can out-sustain you later on. By bottom lane, they're trying to go for a kill. Here comes Illidan towards the back line, but Zai is able to get towards safety. Xenon not able to snipe him off, but here comes the Athena going for a kill. Arlie goes down, Ryoichi is gonna fall, and that is gonna be the first blood going towards the way of All Gamers Global.
There we go. We thought Athena was going to be the feed, but she does pick up the first blood for AG Global as well. So like I was saying, this is a little bit of a promise, a little bit of a contract to your Zero. It's not going to be that FUT Esports Athena. It is going to be a whole different monster, and we're already seeing that right now with plenty of presence in these lanes, plenty of presence in these team fights, trying to pick off these squishier heroes on the side of R8. But we have Mutsu and Princess Frost rotating down to the bot lane, as they do have a minion wave here. The farm lane turret is looking pretty low. The winter is coming, actually freezes the Liempo there to stop a potential great engage from the Liempo to support the Arlie in that bot lane. Menki getting caught out there by Mutsu's first ability, saying, don't come down here. This is on lockdown. We want your farm lane turret.
Yeah, and it's they should be able to get it. They are trying to defend with the Liempo and Arlie still there, but the rotations are coming in from Xenon as well. Shehab trying to go for the kill, trying to go for get something done. Menki towards the backline, get something off, but here comes the ultimate coming from the Mozu, but gets knocked up by the Lienpo, and that's going to be a kill on towards Qinglin. They're going to try to go for more. Here comes the Lienpo. No more ultimate, but he does still have his stuns. Menki called out. He's going to fall. Zaze will be the one to pick up the kill. 1-for-1 trade. And I think All Gamers Global are going to be more than happy for that, because they are able to convert that in towards the objective, which is that first Tyrant.
Yeah, if there's a place you don't want your jungle to fall, it's definitely at that 4-minute mark when the first Tyrant and Overlord is up. I mean, the death timer at this point in the game is not that harsh, but as you saw, it left that Tyrant wide open, and you've now given that Tyrant buff over to the likes of the D-Ren-G. You've got it on the Mayeen, you've got it on Princess Frost as well, so huge damage going to come through now. I mean, more damage than would normally be at this point in the game, but now we have a massive aggression. We have that chain lightning being able to wipe out these minion waves a lot faster, just opening up this farm lane turret. But Liempo is not done yet. He does a flank ult into the Princess Frost, but I think that flashy play is not going to be quite enough. We see that Arlie is able to pick out the D-Ren-G, so again, that was a nice play by Ryoichi on the side of R8, bringing it to a 2-2 trade. overall in game 2 so far. Athena looking a little bit sticky there. Plenty of dashes, plenty of flashes, and she is looking to be taken down as well. There it is. We see that Mai Shiranui get in, knock her up, but then Byron comes through with the last hit onto Myosotis in that mid lane.
A huge turnaround there by R8, able to get 2 kills and take the lead in terms of the kills, evening out the net worth as well. And they might be the first one to take the tier 1 tower on towards the farm lane. And with Arlie, they can make short work of that and almost take the lead. They take the lead for the first time in this entire series.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely what R8 needed to stay in this game, and they've definitely cottoned onto something here with this team comp so far. Let's just hope that they keep riding this wave, because they're only slightly ahead of the gold. I mean, this is the first time that we've seen the team ahead of gold. It may be faint, it may just be a flat line of gold difference, but it's still a gold difference nonetheless. But R8 looking to try and go for the Overlord here. They've got to be careful because the RNG and Mutsu are here. They are able to close the Overlord as well, so that is a 50-50 split once again in the early phase of the jungle objectives that they're able to maintain. And going into game 2, huge knock up there from the Liam Poe, but nobody to follow up. Liam Poe is just a little bit too overextended. Meat Joj was just a little bit too early with that phenomenal knock up there from the Liam Poe. This could go brutally wrong here for the side of R8. We see that CC Muti come through on the side of Athena. Byron looking pretty low. We see the life step come through on the side of Ali there just to try and get out. They do finally get that farm lane first tier turret on the side of AG Global.
Yeah, and evening out the kills as well. Game is still neck and neck between both of these players. It's going to come down. It's reaching the mid-game point where a lot of focus will be on these marksmen. Ryoichi had a great start, so did Zaze. So it's going to be more of the positionings. If anybody gets caught off here, Shea taking a lot of damage. She's in trouble, has to back off. But here comes the Athena towards the backline. Myosotis soaking up a lot of damage, but is able to survive at the moment, and they're trying to get something, trying to secure a kill at this point. But the side of R8 was just able to disengage all too well, and looks like All Gamers Global will try and take this top tier 1 tower, but will they have enough members? Because Zaze is already down to half health, very dangerous. Xenon on the Mai, we've seen him in action in this Season 1 Invitational, and he was a beast on that hero.
Yeah, it was definitely one of his top picks. We haven't really seen much else from Zenon just yet, but here we go. Knockup from the Mai, complemented by the Ali, but we have Motsu here as well. Double kill for Ryoshi. Well played on the side of R8. That is definitely another foot in the door in hopes to try and turn this game 2 into a game 2 victory rather than another L for them. But I do have to comment that AG Snow plays his Mayeen very confidently. He was able just to walk up to the Liam Poe, didn't care that Liam Poe was there in the same bush as him. He's just sort of like, bro, you gonna do anything? And then didn't actually even end up doing anything. But again, the Tyrant goes over to the side of AG Global.
Very close game, very interesting at this point, because it is just one team fight away from either side to really get out of hand, because Athena does fall off towards the late game, but so does the Menki. He doesn't really do anything towards the later stages of the game. So both the jungles are starting to wear off. The Byron as well for Illidan is starting to lose his effectiveness as we reach the later stages of the game. Yes,
it's definitely a shaky ground there for AG. They've got to rely more so on the likes of the Princess Frost and the RNG to come through and try and carry towards the late game. But again, they are very equal in the turrets right now. So actually, no, we have R8 taking more turrets than AG. I was reading the jungle objectives. They are paired equally in the jungle objectives, and it seems to be the opposite side of the map. We're seeing that R8 are favoring that Overlord a lot more than the Tyrant, and it's really showing that the fact that they've focused that they've got more turrets. The life step coming through there to get Ali out of that team fight. So we have Liam Poe going in with the gauge. Is Mijo going to be left alone once again? But Menki comes through as well. But no, he's able to flash out. Menki is in there all alone. But Byron is looking for a pickup. But there is nothing to be picked up there, unfortunately. That was just a little bit of a non-starting engage.
Zaze popped his second skill a little bit too early. Did not dispel the final tick of the stun, but somehow managed to survive through all that, and nobody dies on either side. So that goes to show how close of a game is this game number 2. It can still go either way. Myosotis has been on this Athena. We haven't really seen too much of a lot of kills on her, but on the Athena, you're not really looking for snowball. You are just there to harass, aggress, and then re-engage later on.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really paying much right now because, I mean, neither team was able to close a kill there. I feel like the Liampo and the Monkey engage was just a little bit too slow in order to catch out like the likes of the Durenji or anybody that was a little bit more squishy on the side of AG. But again, we're having a big play around this Tyrant. The Byron takes down the Durenji once again. Liampo going in for a double knockup as well. This could be an ace for R8. There is a double kill coming from Snow out of nowhere as well. So that was a 4-2 trade for the guys of R8. This is a really good place they need to be going into the 12th minute of game 2. They could take this second tier turret. They're not going to try and advance the higher ground. They may try and go for one of these jungle objectives or just get priority in the mid lane.
Xenon, such a crucial knockup. We talked about how he was a beast on this My Shiranui, and he's definitely showcasing what he can do on that hero. Myosotis is going to do a little bit of cheeky play, trying to steal the blue buff away from the side of R8, but he's in a good position to maybe cause some havoc here in this Overlord.
Yeah, no, there's something brewing there, but I think he's just trying to catch out one of the other heroes on the side of R8, the Overlord, Shadow Overlord. It falls to R8. They do love a good Overlord, it seems. And here we go. Athena might get caught out here. No matter how many dashes, no matter how much CC immunity, Monkey is able to get the last hit onto Athena there as well. So again, 10 kills to 5 for R8. As AG Gamers slipped, AG Global slipped a little bit here. It seems like the draft just isn't serving them too well in game 2.
Has destroyed a tower.
Yeah, and also R8 just have a much better draft compared to game number 1. So any small mistakes, R8 is able to punish this time with their lineup. They didn't lose the jungle badly. They were able to stabilize the lanes, and their team fight is just so good with the Lianpo as well as the My Shiranui. So much knockup, so much CC, and that is really giving them a good lead at this point. 6,000 net worth lead to the South Arabia. Towards the South Arabian organization, and they are in such a good place to force us to game number 3.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely may be the full best of 3 we may get all day, it seems, Zero, but I don't want to count out AG just yet, because sometimes all it takes is just a flick of the wrist, and it just means that you're able to ace your enemy team and then get a solid minion wave all the way to the crystal. But Mijo doesn't want to get caught out here, because we have to say that one of the vital parts of these massive engages, the reason why they've had so many successful team fights, is the combo of the Liampo with the Menki, and then obviously Byron coming through being hard-hitting, My Shiranui as well being very hard-hitting. Those crucial knockups from Zenon as well have really just been putting AG Global into their place right now. Byron looking to try and get some sort of push into the higher ground turret, and I think that's probably the next point of call for R8, is trying to secure some of these higher ground turrets.
Yeah, they don't have the best sieging lineup. The Arlie doesn't really like to stand in a single place for long to do damage to the towers. They're trying to go for an engage. Oh, the Moses almost falls there, but they were able to get the tier 3 tower. From that, they get a kill on towards Mihor, so that's a good counter start. Athena trying to go for someone, but not able to get the backup that he needs from the rest of his team, so he's going to be content to back out from that. So 1 kill for 1 tier 3 tower, I think R8 is more than happy to take that trade.
Yeah, they're just going to wait for another 25 seconds now, because I think if a team fight is forced here on the side of AG Global, they may be able to take it from them. I mean, without their backbone, their main backbone at least, that Lian Po has been, like I've said before, so crucial into those team fights. So again, I feel like R8 just need to kind of just pull it back a little bit here, just make sure and maintain those minion waves are not going to be too much in favor on the side of AG, and wait till that massive Lian Po comes through. But Mai looking for a push in that farm lane. Again, they are wanting that higher ground turret, it seems, in the second side lane.
AG 7,000 net worth down at the moment. Do you see any way, any sort of way they can come back from this outside of a good engagement? Because Athena does fall off, so does the Main towards the late game.
Overlord has been defeated.
Again, I mean, you can see that Mayin's trying to get like a bit of a macro play going on here. I think they're just trying to focus these side lanes because they know that most of the time R8 is going to be grouped somewhere within that mid region because they don't have the first and second tier turret in the mid lane now on the side of AG. So having that wide open just has it's just a huge playground for R8 right now in game 2. But like you said, the AG Global are quite far behind in that gold. So again, that makes a huge difference in Honor of Kings. And Mayin just looking to try and stay out of these team fights and allow her team to start the team fight first and then her come from to the back line and try and be effective that way. But I don't think they're ever going to get the opportunity. Here are the Vanguards. The Shadow Vanguards are rocking around as well in that farm lane. The Winter is coming is just placed there to try and stop the minion waves from taking that higher ground turret in the farm lane. But look at this. This is just so shaky. They're just waiting for the right moment. The Shadow Vanguard has arrived at that farm lane higher ground turret as well. Lian Po is in there. He's just teetering. He's waiting for somebody to slip up. There is that engage. There's the ultimate. It's already been exhausted here. So again, we're not going to see that for another few moments now. But they did get that higher ground turret in the farm lane, which is going to be great for R8. They only have one more turret on the field to try and take down. And that's the last thing stopping them from winning game 2.
Yeah. R8 will be more than happy to be able to take that tier 3 without losing any of their members, which means that they only have one more tier 3 to really deal with. And once they get this Shadow Tyrant, they will get the additional damage buff, which I expect them to utilize to try and push on towards the high ground in this mid lane. The last tower standing here for AG, they will need to defend with their lives.
It feels like AG Global have kind of underestimated R8 from that game 1 because it was such a quick finish that they thought that they could pick this Athena team comp going on here and finish the game early again. But it seems like they've definitely underestimated the power of R8 here, being able to take a win on the side, potentially. I mean, I'm a little bit foreshadowing here, but this looks very hopeful that last standing higher ground turret is still alive. It is no more. It falls again, so they have no turrets to hide behind. There is only the crystal. Athena looking pretty low. Just get some of those bad boy minions into that circle in the crystal so you can start to assault that crystal as well. We need to see the closing of this game soon. We don't want to see that first Tempest Dragon come through, because if it does, that could be a troublesome for R8, because we know how powerful that Tempest Dragon Vanguards can be. But Athena's trying to wipe out those minions. We see that Mai is into the back there, looking to try and take out some of their teammates. Byron is there as well, but it's already going down for R8. There's 2 of them down. There's a 2-1 trade so far. Byron's back up thanks to Sage Sanctuary. He is now going down again. Double kill going over to AG Snow. We have R8 on the run, but they still have Lian Po. They still have Arlie, and they still have Monkey as well. So again, they haven't lost their jungle. They still have a way into this Tempest Dragon if it does mean that it has to happen.
Yeah, Devil made such a huge play. Xenon flickered, flashed towards the back line to try and knock 2 people back towards his team, but Devil was able to drop his second skill, freeze it in position, essentially stopping the combination and allowing them to take that fight towards their favor, cutting down the lead to 8,000. Still a very huge sum to come back from, but hey, it's a start. And if AG is able to get a couple more stops just like that, they might find themselves in a much more favorable situation to make a comeback in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Tempest Dragon up in 10 seconds as well. So again, we may see a little bit of a focus here for AG. We could see a backdoor if they do try and prioritize this Tempest Dragon too much here. Expiring, it was in at the sideline there, trying to push that Clash Lane minion wave. But it seems like they are just waiting to play around this Tempest Dragon, it seems. Mijo already trying to bait a little bit of a engage onto the Liempo, but they just aren't taking it. AG are just a little bit too clever when it comes to these late game team fights, it seems. But again, this is a coin flip. I'm not too sure where this is going to go now.
Yeah, if R8 doesn't take a good fight, they might find themselves trying to defend the tier 3. But here is a good fight for Liempo, knocking back up, but he's down low. Athena trying to give chase, not enough damage. The Tempest Dragon not making things easy to fight in that area, and everybody will have to back off. Top lane is being pushed in. Main will have to rotate over there to try and stop that from happening. And Mihosh is pretty low. He has to back off. Not Mihosh, the Illidan is pretty low, and he will not be able to participate in the next fight if it happens in the next 10 seconds or so. Neither is Mayin, so both of them have to watch out on when they take these fights.
Again, yeah, it's still just brewing. The storm hasn't quite yet cleared for either of these teams, but because of those empowered minions down in the bot lane, in all their lanes, sorry, on the side of R8, this is going to be a bit of a struggle for AG Global to try and do any kind of macro play here, because again, those empowered minions, thanks to those high ground turrets being fallen, are we going to get a steal here? Is it going to be a crucial steal? It is! Myosotis takes the crucial kill theft from the Tempest Dragon. Is that going to be enough to dampen R8 though? But it is baited quite a bit of team fight here, but it is split. Liempo is in the back of the line there, trying to keep the Ali alive. Snow falls down to Ryochi. Is this going to be enough to keep them alive here? Liempo is still going in. Shihab goes down as well, and forcing Zenon out of that team fight because too much damage come from the DRNG. But there are the minions. They are rocking around too. That crystal, the mid lane just needs to be freed up. The farm lane as well. They just need to push this crystal to win, because the only thing standing between this game 2 victory before R8 is that Athena.
Yeah, and Athena, late game, not a fantastic hero. He does fall, tries to survive the best he can, but the damage coming from the early way too much, and we're going to a game number 3.
Woo! I mean, it's taken less time for a best of 3 in Season 2 than in the Season 1 Invitational. I think it was like somewhere in the knockout stages, the best of 3 was at some point in that Season 1, but we get it in day 1. AG not looking too impressed with that draft, clearly overestimating this side of R8 Esports. Well played.